So Chucky's only about 8 days away now, and I thought it would be fun to go over some builds for newer players, people who just pick up the game maybe because of him or not, or maybe they just picked it up randomly and decided, you know what, I want to play Chucky. And I was like, okay, so what are some good starter builds for Chucky? So for the starter builds, the thing you do have to remember is that for a lot of us veterans, we often forget that newer players don't have all the perks. And even when they're leveling him up, they won't have all the perks. They're only going to have the general perks and his 3 teachables. And that's all. So of those, which ones do I think would work best on Chucky? Well, I mean, there's the obvious one, and I'm going to get this one out of the way right now. Hex, no one escapes death. Hex, no one escapes death, plus batteries included. These 2 perks combined are going to make the in-game insane, especially considering Chucky's a 110. This would bring him up to 4% plus, what, 7%? Which is insane. It would basically take him to almost a 120 killer, which that's faster than 115 unless the survivors are bringing hope and made for this and happen to be deep wounded, because I think people are forgetting that the deep wound, or the made for this nerf is coming with this as well. But these 2 together, I can see them becoming a really good build. On top of that, Bitter Murmur is always a great perk for newer players, and I think it works pretty well for Chucky. It lets you know which gens to go to and where survivors are going after they complete a gen. Also combining it with, once again, with NOED, you can know it reveals all the survivors after the last gen pops, so you know exactly where to go to get the most use out of your exposed status effect. A weird one, and we're going to do a whole video on this, I believe, after he comes out. Insidious, I actually think, is going to be really strong on Chucky. The reason being, once again, we're going to do a whole video on this. Chucky is one of the few stealth killers who actually gets to use Insidious in a way that's not memey or like a weird strategy. Because a lot of times what you can do at loops is you basically stand there, activate your power, go undetectable, and the survivors don't know where you are because they can't see you. And your terror radius is gone, and your red light's gone. So what you can do with Insidious is fake that you went into your power, and now once you use your third-person camera to see which direction they're running, then activate your power, and you're not wasting it the entire time. Or you can just use it to just mind game the survivors in general. Just stand behind a corner, let Insidious pop, and then just see what they do. Sometimes they even run right into it. It's actually kind of insane. Sloppy Butcher, always a good one. You can combine this with his one of his add-ons that gives the hemorrhage and mangled status effect and slice and dice, so you always have mangled and hemorrhage no matter what you do or what you hit them with, which is great. Spiders from the Shadows, I don't really see it being very useful on him. Same with Unrelenting. I saw someone bring up, if you bring Unrelenting plus the slice and dice cooldown one, where you get the miss cooldown, to about 12% lower, like, it could be a good strat, but honestly, I don't see it being useful. We'll see how it works out. With Chucky being a 110 non-range killer, Unrelenting I don't think is going to be like super staple, but it might be good for learning him. We'll see with that. The last one is Whispers. Whispers is a generally good tracking perk, and it has basically no prerequisites, except for a survivor just has to be in the 32-meter radius, which Chucky has that in his base terror radius, which is fine. But what's actually good about this is you can use it to a similar effect of Pig. What some Pig players do is they run Monitored Abuse and Whispers. What this does is lower their terror radius to 24 meters, and basically means that once Whisper starts going off, they know to start crouching, so they can sneak up on survivors without them even hearing the terror radius. Chucky can do a similar thing to this with one of his add-ons that lowers his base terror radius, and one that lowers it while Hidey-Ho mode is on cooldown, which could be extremely useful, I feel. We'll see how that pans out. But if I had to give a basic starting build for Chucky, it would probably be NOED, batteries included, Bitter Murmur, and Sloppy Butcher. And then for his add-ons, probably the best to start off with are going to be just the electric carving knife and the automatic screwdriver. They both reduce the cooldown and the slice and dice attack, which is it's just generally useful for learning the character, I feel. And the automatic screwdriver, I think, is actually going to become a staple add-on for him because it lets you use slice and dice more for mobility and not always for chase, which is just extremely useful. I think the more people start using Chucky, we're going to see slice and dice less used for hug techs and things like that, except for on guaranteed hits, and more for roaming around the map, since it lets him get around so fast, and the cooldown is relatively short. But we'll see how that goes. In any case, we only have 8 more days, everybody. I'm super excited. And this is where I do my YouTuber thing of the like, follow, and sub. I always do that at the end because I feel it's better for you guys. Don't forget we're live on Twitch. We are not live this week because of Thanksgiving, but we will be live next week starting on Chucky's release on the 28th. We are doing a Toys for Tots charity stream on that day. If you want to come by and donate, I appreciate it. If not, it's fine. Spread the word if you can. All that stuff. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.